Oh my goodness! Let's talk about love or not having it. Back in high school, I was the ultimate dreamer when it came to romance. I'd fall head over heels super fast, always sure that this time was the real deal. But just as quickly as I fell, I'd find myself with a broken heart. I remember crying for weeks, sometimes months, over a breakup that probably only lasted a few weeks itself. The pain felt so huge, like it took over everything. I'd listen to sad songs over and over, write dramatic poems in my diary, and wonder what was so wrong with me that no one seemed to stick around. It was a cycle of sadness that felt like it would never stop, a constant reminder that maybe I wasn't meant for a happy ending. Then came college, and you'd think I would have learned my lesson, but nope. The heart wants what it wants, even if what it wants is a recipe for trouble. The heartbreaks just got bigger, more confusing. I was older, so the relationships felt more serious. And falling apart was even more painful. I would pour my whole self into someone, forgetting to save a little bit for me. My world would be all about them, and when they left, my world would crash into a million tiny pieces. I spent so much time and energy trying to fix things, trying to be what they wanted, that I completely forgot who I was. It was a habit of giving up on myself that I thought was love. These experiences really made me wonder about the whole idea of relationships. I would see people in happy, committed relationships and feel a little bit jealous. Did I not deserve that kind of simple, loyal love? Then I'd hear stories about people having more than one spouse, and while that wasn't for me, it made me think about how complicated human connections are. Maybe love wasn't a one-size-fits-all thing, but for me, all I wanted was one person who would pick me, always and without thinking twice. The constant ups and downs emotionally, the stress of trying to hold on to something that was already gone, took a toll on me that I didn't even realize at the time. Looking back, I can see how much of my young life was spent chasing a love that was bad for me. It was a love that asked me to shrink myself, to say sorry for being myself. The stress was unbelievable. I was always worried, always walking on eggshells, and my body was keeping track. Every tear I cried, every sleepless night I spent worrying, every fight that left me feeling drained, it was all being stored inside me. I was so focused on getting approval from a relationship that I completely ignored the inner storm that was slowly building, a storm that was about to change my life in a way I never expected. For years, my biggest prayer was for a love that lasts. My "I wish I had that" was always about finding a partner. But one day, the universe answered my prayers in a very different and much scarier way. I started feeling off. There was a bump in my neck that I had ignored for a while, just thinking it was nothing. But the tiredness was clear, and something deep down told me this was more than just another breakup hangover. A visit to the doctor led to a bunch of tests, and then came the words that stopped my world. You have papillary thyroid cancer. In that moment, all the boys who broke my heart disappeared from my mind. Suddenly, the only thing I was fighting for was my life. The link between how I felt emotionally and how my body felt became super clear. All those years of stress, of crying myself to sleep, of feeling worthless, my body had taken it all in. Being constantly upset had made me weak, creating a place where sickness could grow. It was a harsh wake-up call. I had spent so much energy trying to win the love of others that I had forgotten about the one person who needed it most, myself. The cancer wasn't a punishment, but it was a result. It was the physical sign of all the emotional pain I had let sit inside me for so long. The diagnosis changed how I saw everything. Trying to find one partner or any kind of relationship seemed so unimportant compared to trying to be healthy. My "I wish I had that" changed from "I wish I had a boyfriend" to "I wish I was healthy." I realized how much I had taken my well-being for granted. All the small problems that once seemed like the end of the world now felt like a luxury. The fear of being alone was replaced by the much more scary fear of not being around at all. I was about to have a total thyroidectomy, a surgery to remove my whole thyroid gland, and the thought was absolutely terrifying. Getting ready for the surgery was a mix of feelings. There was fear of what I didn't know, fear of the pain, fear of what life would be like afterward. Would I ever feel normal again? Would I have to take medicine for the rest of my life? The night before the operation, I lay in my hospital bed and thought about all my past heartbreaks. It's funny how a life-threatening sickness can make you see things clearly. The pain of those breakups was nothing compared to the fear I felt then. I prayed not for a partner, but for strength. I prayed for a second chance to live, and I promised myself that if I got it, I would learn to love myself first. The day of the surgery is a blur, but the feelings are super clear. I remember being rolled into the cold, clean operating room with bright lights shining down on me. I was so scared. As they got ready to put me to sleep, my mind raced. I thought about my family, my friends, my job. I thought about all the things I still wanted to do, the laughs I still wanted to share. It's in these moments that you realize what really matters. It's not the fights, the drama, or the people who didn't love you back. It's the love that's around you, the life you've built, and the hope for more tomorrows. I closed my eyes and let go, trusting the doctors and a higher power. Waking up after the total thyroidectomy was confusing. There was pain in my throat and I felt super weak. The first thing I did was touch my neck, feeling the bandage that covered the cut. It was real. My thyroid was gone. The days that followed in the hospital taught me about patience and needing help. I couldn't talk much, swallowing was hard, and I depended on my loved ones for everything. My family and friends became my rock, my strong support system. They were there with soup, with kind words, and with laughter that made even the hospital room feel a little bit like home. Their love was the most real and powerful medicine I could have asked for. Living without a thyroid gland means taking medicine for life. I met my new best friend, levothyroxine. This tiny pill is what I need to take every single day for the rest of my life to replace the hormones my thyroid used to make. It's a constant daily reminder of my journey. At first it felt like a burden, another thing to worry about, but now I see it as a sign of my second chance. It's a part of my new daily routine, a promise to my health. Along with the medicine, I had to start healthier habits, focusing on good food and listening to what my body needed. Getting better was slow, both for my body and my feelings. I had to learn to live in this new body, with its new limits and needs. There were days of being frustrated and sad, days when I felt super tired for no reason, but with each day that passed, I got stronger. The scar on my neck, which I was at first so embarrassed about, started to feel like a badge of honor. It was proof that I had faced something terrifying and made it through. It showed not a loss, but a win. It was the mark of a survivor who was finally learning to choose life and health above everything else. This whole experience taught me the most important lesson of my life. You have to choose yourself. For so long, I had put the us in relationships before the me. I was always willing to give up my own happiness, my peace of mind, just to keep someone else. I thought that was love. But lying in that hospital bed, I realized that true love, the most basic love of all, is loving yourself. It's about setting limits, honoring what you need, and refusing to settle for anything that makes you feel small or not good enough. The cancer didn't just remove a gland from my body, it removed the bad way of thinking that had been hurting me for years. Letting go of the past was a very important part of my healing. I had to forgive the people who hurt me, not for them, but for me. Holding on to anger and bitterness was like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It was only hurting me, keeping me stuck in a painful past. I also had to forgive myself for letting it happen, for not knowing better at the time. I made a clear choice to let go of all that bad energy. I let go of the memories of past relationships, the what-ifs, and the why-nots. I chose to focus on right now and the future I was building for myself, a future built on respecting myself and being well. This new chapter means putting my health first, above everything else. It means saying no to things that drain my energy and yes to things that make my soul happy. It means surrounding myself with people who lift me up, who celebrate my strength, and who love me for exactly who I am. My focus changed from finding a partner to becoming the best possible partner for myself. I learned to enjoy being alone, to find joy in quiet time, and to build a life so full and happy that a relationship would be a wonderful addition, not something I desperately needed. It's about being complete on my own. To anyone out there who is stuck in a cycle of heartbreak or is ignoring their own well-being for someone else, please listen. Your health, both in your mind and body, is your greatest treasure. Don't let anyone or anything mess with it. Move on from the past that no longer helps you. Let go of bad love and embrace the amazing power of self-love. Take care of your body, listen to its quiet warnings before they become loud screams. You are worthy of a life filled with peace, joy, and great health. Choose yourself today and every day. You deserve it. You are beautiful, and you deserve to feel beautiful inside and out.